You good, Marcus? You use the bathroom or
Nah, man, I'm good. You gotta use the
good?
bathroom? Yeah,
Nah,
man.
no, I'm good, man. Urine's empty.
All right, man. Go. All right. We are in the building. Welcome to the Marc Ben podcast. I am your host, Marc Ben, and I got my dog in here,
Finally!
my guy. You know what I'm saying?
It's been so long.
It's been so long, bro. It's been about what, 4 hours, 3 hours?
At least that.
Yeah, about 3 hours.
Sarcasm aside, I am so happy, honored, blessed, and excited. The list goes on to be on this podcast. And I'm not joking. We've been through hell and high water to finally get this to happen. This man right here, Marcus Ben, did a lot. And if you guys saw behind the scenes, you would be just as excited as me. So,
David Fuertes, ladies and gentlemen, and the in-betweens. All right. So, yeah, man. So we're going to start off with, like I said, I'm so happy that we're back on. This is literally our second time doing this. The first time we recorded the whole podcast show, the whole podcast episode. It didn't record. The audio didn't record.
but it was a good episode.
It was a good episode.
It was very good.
So we're going to try to be, the same, transparent. We're just kicking it, having a good time. We're just talking about some things, whatever
man.
comes to mind. So I guess the people want to know how we met. So how we met.
Tinder.
Tinder.
Yeah. I did swipe left the first 2 times, but man, on that third time when he popped up, couldn't help. No, we're coworkers. We both work in the insurance industry, and that's how we met. We just met at the office. And Marcus and I just seem to have a lot in common in quite a few ways. And I just think that's kind of why we connected. But I think what's interesting is that although we met at work and doing the insurance thing, we happen to both be starting podcasts at the same time. And I thought that was unique because it's rare to run into people that are doing a very niche thing at the same moment. Now, okay, the argument's fair. Everyone and their moms has a podcast, but we're doing it at the same exact time, the same exact stage. So it's fun to have a buddy on your side working and helping you troubleshoot the process.
Facts. Yeah, man. Like I say, I really appreciate you, man. And yeah, we met at the office. Yeah, like you say, we met at the office. We worked together. And I remember the very first conversation that we had. Well, actually, yeah, I found out he was a videographer and I was a photographer at the time. And the key words is was.
Because I was a disgruntled videographer. Disgruntled is the prerequisite to that conversation. That's why I'm no longer doing it. It was a tough job. I'm happy that I learned the process, and I'm happy I tried because my goodness, man, the opportunities and things I got to experience through video, most people will never get to experience. And so I was really blessed to experience these amazing foods because I specialize in food videography. And I got to eat some of the craziest, most expensive things that Miami can offer. And Miami's a melting pot for the world, so I had a really good time doing my video work at that.
So when you say food videographer, was there like any special type of food you were doing, or whatever job came up that's involving food, you just did it?
Yeah, man. So no, any job revolving around food and video, I did it. There was no specific type of food. However, it did lend itself towards Instagram and working as a food quote unquote blogger.
Mm-hmm.
I had a website where I actually wrote blog articles about food and restaurant experiences that I'd have. So very much like, if you've ever been on Yelp before where you rate restaurants.
But hold on, we're gonna go back to blog. Like, I know what blog means, but what's a blog? Is that like an article type of description that you would type up as far as like the food you were doing, and I guess like pictures on that, or like how did that work as far as blog?
Yeah. For the folks that don't know what a blog is literally just like a newspaper online. You go to a website and it's just an article, a 1-2 page article about a topic. And typically when you say a blog article, they're not usually the most serious thing. Sometimes, not as often though. And in this case, food, I would go to a restaurant like local to Miami at the time was Shula Burger.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to there. I took photos of the food I got served, and then I ate it. I reviewed it on my blog, posted the photos, but also posted to Instagram, where I met most of my contacts for video. So I was able to do my video work because of my connections in the food blogging space. And it led to doing a lot of photo projects for food, video projects for food commercials, and I did end up specializing a lot with coffee. Yeah, I, tea, guys, look, tea. I would say it's healthier. It's not. It's just caffeinated in different flavors. And I specialized a lot with coffee and drink beverages. I did photo shoots with Panther Coffee, with Cafe Le Ave, with Bustelo, um, a lot of liquor companies we worked with. So we just did Instagram videos, YouTube videos, commercials, and it was a fun experience because I got to eat and try the coolest things.
Now, when you say we, so you had a team or it was
Yeah.
primarily you?
It
That
was
was-
primarily me. However, with any video project, it's easily a two-person job. So anytime I
Gotcha.
had the opportunity to work with somebody, I always brought them in. And at times that would be someone from my brother to my mom to someone I paid to work with at the time, you know? It all depended on the project or what I needed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Perfect, man. So wow. So all you videographers out there or upcoming videographers, um,
Don't get into the business.
but you got most of your clientele from referrals or people you've already dealt with, and they knew people or they knew people that
Yes.
owned restaurants, and then they referred you. And
Yeah,
okay,
exactly. Except for probably one of the larger ones I did a video project with Wendy's, and
what?
that was cool, and I got it actually because of my food blog. My food blog happens to be on the first page of Google when you looked up Food Blog Miami because I specialize in doing SEO work, and it's pretty difficult to get stuff first on Google without paying, and my website was first, and so when Wendy's was launching a new restaurant location in South Florida, they went Food Bloggers Miami, and my page popped up. They paid me, and we did the project.
You said SEO,
SEO, search engine optimization.
and can you? What does that mean? I know what it means, but
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. What does that mean?
So that's the modern day version of making, I don't know. It's just basically being the most popular on the internet. It's making your website or your blog article or your photo or your video or your YouTube page or whatever it is you have the most popular first when you search it on Google or any other search engine.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice, bro. Awesome, bro. Well, I mean, the same kind of here. It wasn't on a large scale as you were. Like you was dealing with Wendy's, and I remember we was talking. You did something with the Weather Channel, something like with their
Oh
app.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, you had some big projects. I had more family, people around the way that just wanted some shots done for weddings, and you know. But same rule applies. I shot my first gig, which was for my cousin, her wedding, and then it just took off. Oh, you shot her wedding. Can you shoot mine? And then it's just like a circle. Just
Well, first off, I want to say that I think weddings in a lot of ways are way better than food. And photo shoots for couples, new babies, things like that, probably also way better than doing anything with food. Hear me out. The reason why is that a wedding is very consistent. You know that with a wedding, you're going to need the same equipment every time for the most part. You know you're going to need the same amount of people every time for the most part. It's very cookie cutter.
mhm.
And you know that you can upsell people, you could work on the pitch, it's very routine. But when you do projects like commercials for food companies, there are some similarities, but more times than not, there's a big creative aspect. And that creative aspect is really where the money's made. So if you don't have a large if you don't have the skill to sell the creative part for a lot of money,
Mhm.
then you end up having to charge a little bit of money for things like social media post or a quick little YouTube video. And you can only really charge so much money for that. Now, if you were to film a movie or if you were to film a large budget commercial, they charge a lot of money because there's a lot of creative side behind it. The equipment's high end for a lot of reasons. I argue that it's easier to find weddings, make them cookie cutter, set up your business model so you know every time you do a wedding, you're going to profit about 2 grand or so, and you just get 6 of those a month, and you have a team do it. I feel like it's an easier business model to build up unless you're just one of those few lucky videographers that get those big gigs. I feel like there's very little middle ground. You're either the wedding guy that's serving Kendall in Miami doing video work for families, and small businesses that have some cookie cutter stuff, or you're the guy that's trying to become the big Hollywood producer. I feel like there's little middle ground because everyone has an iPhone. Everyone could film their own videos. Everyone could do their own
True.
stuff.
You know what my issue was with photography, bro? Too many people was doing it. And like you say, it's a lot of iPhones and Androids out there, but too many people was doing it, and the price was just getting undercut. It's like, hey, this is what I charge. And they're like, oh, okay, thank you. And they'll go to the next guy that'll be half than what I was charging, and boom, done. And it's
Real
like,
quick. Right, dude?
it's kind of like,
Right?
well, it's kind of like what
It's
we do.
discouraging,
It's kind of
man.
like what we do on an everyday basis on, selling insurance in the office. It's so many insurance companies out here that it's so easy to just, oh, thank you for the quote. Let me take this quote and let me go to this insurance company and let me compare.
But there's a big difference between selling insurance and selling video work. Primarily is how much profit margin there is. I would have loved to stay in video if the profit margin was even close to what insurance is. If it was even half of what insurance is, I might have been tempted to stay in video.
Yeah.
But the truth is, video profit, a lot of times you break even or barely make any money on projects with the hope of landing much larger gigs. I mean, you really bust your butt to get the best possible gig, meet the right connection. It's difficult. But with insurance, you sell and move to the next. That sale didn't work out. You just sell a different person. And the profit margins are so much higher in insurance. It just makes the time worth it.
I mean, with all fairness, it's like, which is the deal break. It's like, I need insurance. I need video too, but I need insurance way more
Facts.
than video. So of
Yeah.
course, insurance is like it sells itself, but it's so much competition that it's like, you gotta sell it. Either you sell it or you lose it.
Yeah.
But oh man, yeah. So all you videographers out there, man, it ain't sweet out there, man. It's hard work, and
Don't talk to us disgruntled videographers about videographer advice. We're really gonna hurt your feelings and tell you not to do it. So be careful. Be careful who you listen to.
Yeah. So you transitioned over from videographer, and you decided that you wanted to do a podcast, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And what's the name of your podcast?
The David Fuertes podcast. So original.
Well, a lot of people have like little fancy names for their little podcasts. Oh, the Cranberry Show or the Twin Bros podcast. Why did you pick David Fuertes?
That's such a good question. I'm so glad you asked that. Hey, man, I want to be me, and I want to be very transparently me. I've done media for most of my life. I've played music for many years when I was younger. I've been in multiple bands. I started a church when I was younger. I've run many social media accounts for brands and companies. I've put on photo shoots and video shoots and written scripts and plays, and I've done a lot of media work. But all of it was never just David. It was always something else. I was representing something else or doing something else. Well, now I'm in a unique position where I can afford to just have my own thing and enjoy my favorite part of the media world, which is getting to know people and talking.
Nice.
I think people have interesting stories to tell, and I'm more interested in getting to know people than anything else. And it's just maybe it's my Christian belief, whatever it may be, but the truth is, I think
How dare you say Christian on the air?
Oh, no. Sorry. Well, I don't know if I get what you're getting at because of the cancel culture and everything. But no, that's not the direction. What it is that maybe it's my beliefs, because I think when I leave this earth, man, when I die, the only thing I'm taking out of here is my relationships with people and with God. Because my flesh is my body's gone. My resources are gone. I'm only taking away my relationships with people, which I believe, we're all going to go to heaven or hell, or something's going to happen when we die.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think I like investing in people and relationships with people. And I've always found like the most oomph and connection there, just talking to people and getting to know what people are doing and finding a way to relate. So I don't know. That's what I like doing. I like talking to people, and I'm going to have a bunch of interesting folks on my show.
And on top of that, since you got such an extensive background in videography and even photography,
yeah,
you can set your own, podcast up
chill,
without
chill.
no help. And
Chill.
literally David Fuertes. But
First off, Marcus, you've been helping this whole time.
But that's what I was saying. I'm going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you have a podcast, hey, I want to sit in.
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn just as much as you want to learn about podcasting. So whatever
Let's
episodes
go.
you do, I want to be the assistant. And whatever, and if you want to,
I'm here for you, brother.
bro,
I'll be here, dude. I got you.
Bro.
Now, the thing is that, man, you've helped since the beginning doing this. So we've definitely bounced a million ideas off of each other.
Yeah.
And what people don't realize is this all takes effort, man. I mean, if people could see what the cameras don't see, I mean, there's cables on the floor. There's 1, 2, like 3 lights, 2 lights right now. You have 3 sometimes set up.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 monitors, you got speakers, you got an iPad. There's a lot going on. Headphones. Man, all this stuff is troubleshooting and error, bro.
The boom arm.
I know. When you're starting something, you have to figure out basic things like, what boom arm do I buy? I don't know. So you have to watch reviews and you spend dozens of hours trying to figure this stuff out.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have like little straps to keep the cord in line because unfortunately I bought the one that it doesn't hide the cords. But it came with Velcro stripes and straps, I'm sorry, and it just didn't work. It was like falling apart. So I had to literally invest in these things and zip tie them down and keep them in line. It's crazy. It's like you win some, you lose some, but just got to keep going with the flow.
That's because you broke, Marcus. I bought the expensive ones.
You're right.
Mine didn't have any problem whatsoever.
You're right, bro. I'm trying to get like you.
Nah, man. Yeah, I bought mine they were a little, how much were these?
These were like 50. And the only reason why I went with these was 50 a piece. Reason why I went with these, I know Newer from photography.
Yeah.
So I was like, they're good. I'm going to get them. But I should have went high end.
They do work though. So if anyone out there is like, darn, I bought the $40 boom mic. Bro, it's going to work. Yeah. It's going to work. Okay. It's just a boom mic. But I did buy the $75 boom mic and it is much nicer. So, and it's also heavier. It feels like a really solid piece of metal or I guess a thick piece of aluminum, I suppose. So yeah, like I think it was worth the $75 considering they are visible on camera or whatever. But again, if anyone's out there buying a $50 boom mic or whatever,
40, 30, 20, just get
use it, bro. Use it. It's going to work.
Bro. Just get it until you can do better. So once I do better, I'm going to be replacing these. And I'll be having these on like offer up in case anybody want to. I'm just saying.
45 a piece.
45
You're making money out here.
46 a piece.
Ooh, got to pay for shipping.
For real, because I'm like, I got a little Jew in me, Stop.
Yo, my name's David. I can make Jewish jokes because the name David's Jewish.
And he's like part Jewish for real, like so. All right, but back to the podcast, man.
Wait, before we go too far, I did want to say, I want to talk about what we talked about of it's okay not to buy the most expensive stuff. There's some downsides not to buying the most expensive stuff, but if you're just trying to follow your passion and hey, I really want to do a podcast, and you're like some 14-year-old out there, or you could be an adult. It doesn't matter. You're just trying to start something. Bro, Samsung phones and iPhones do a heck of a lot. And it's amazing what you could do. Facts. Check this out. If you had, instead of me sitting here, who's a nobody, if you had, I don't know, Tony Hawk, sitting here, this would already be like, oh my God, everyone will watch this. Especially Tony Hawk fans, everyone will watch it, right? And if this quality wasn't as good, this is great quality setup. But imagine if it was just one iPhone. Of course, everyone would still watch it because it's Tony Hawk. I say that because it's the content, in my view, is more important than the quality. If you're blessed like us that you can afford a few grand of quality, go for it. Have at it, man. Because let me tell you, Amazon's a lot of fun. Go shopping, man. It's great. But I'm just saying, man, like, if you got a phone and you really want to do something, make it happen. You could do it.
Use your creativity.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. So, speaking of, we're going to stay on the podcast, right? So, I know you spoke briefly on what type of guests you want. Can you elaborate just a little bit of what type of guests are you looking for on your podcast?
If I'm not going to have fun talking to them, they're not going to be on my podcast.
Oof. Blunt truth.
Man, they have to come over to my house. They're going to be there for at least an hour and a half. And if I'm bored, man, it's difficult to It's difficult to sit in front of a camera and fake enthusiasm. You can, you definitely can,
Yeah.
but it's easier to fake energy than being enthusiastic because I could be energetic, but if I'm not genuinely passionate or interested in what that person's talking about,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to pay attention and I'm probably not going to ask good questions. And if I'm not paying attention, the actual host of the show, why would the audience care? As a matter of fact, if I'm not paying attention, why would I do it in the first place?
True.
I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing it because I like getting to know people. So, and I'm
True.
having fun. It's a matter of enjoyment.
True.
And I think there's a lot of people out there that also just want to talk to people and have a virtual conversation almost. Podcasts make you feel like you're sitting in the room with somebody. It's really amazing.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I do agree. So you're looking for
Oh, my phone's ringing.
interesting people that do that does or have done interesting things.
Yes, absolutely. Now, what interests me, a lot of stuff being I'm into fitness, into health, some sports, more like martial arts and rock climbing, parkour, more individualized sports than normal sports like baseball and football. Everyone, talks about those, but more into individual sports. Music, big into music. Finance, different career paths,
Uh-huh.
a lot of stuff. And those types of people interest me, but ideally, they have to be doing something unique in their field that makes sense. Because there's a lot of people that like own gyms, or there's a lot of people that do rock climbing or, sing or whatever it may be. But if they're not really good or if they're not doing something interesting that other people, that we could sit down, have a beer over almost, and
Mhm.
actually enjoy a conversation, then it's not going to work. So they have to do something interesting and we have to have some type of connection. Otherwise, we're going to lose interest.
Okay. Well, fair enough. So fair enough. So if you guys are watching and you think you have an interesting story, you are interesting and you're into fitness,
I'm friendly. I want
or
to talk to you. Reach
and
out.
all of that, just hey, let me know. Let him know. David Fuertes show you. He's easy to look up. David Fuertes podcast.
Spotify,
Spotify,
YouTube.
YouTube.
That's it.
That's it for now. We're going worldwide with it, baby. We're going hard.
Not China. They don't have Spotify or YouTube.
Dang, shout outs to China.
Shout out China.
All right.
Watch
So
Marcus get hacked now.
so the people that wants to do a podcast, and I know quite a few people that really wants to do a podcast, and
True.
for some reasons it's like they're just trying to do the trend. Is what's popping right now. Dance challenges and whatever. What's your advice to those who's trying to start a podcast on a budget? I already know you spoke about it, but just elaborate just a little bit more of
Yeah.
what is
This
your
is one of my
advice?
favorite
So
topics.
and I'll put you in a scenario, right?
Sure.
So someone that makes probably $500 every 2 weeks after taxes. After they pay their bills, they have like very little money, but they do have enough to get some type of equipment to get started. What would so if you're in that scenario, what's the first piece of equipment are you getting?
Man, I've been in that scenario many times. So, yeah, starting off, man, I worked a part-time job for many years to buy my first camera setup, and it was like a cheap Canon T3i. I think I spent like $400 on the camera and then like another $100 on a little light. Like it was really basic, some mics. And I worked my butt off to get that camera, man. I was doing construction work, like maintenance work. So I know that struggle. I've been there and it's doable. But the truth is, your quality is going to really stink. No matter how much you want to watch YouTube videos and find the cheapest way, I know you're not going to believe me, but I would say don't focus so much on the equipment. Don't focus so much on buying that first thing. In today's world, I would say invest in a nicer phone or just a phone, a smartphone, and work off of that. Because the truth is, you're not going to get very far. You might save, over a year time, maybe you could save $1,000 over a year where you're able to buy something that's going to help. Well, $1,000 could buy something, but it's not going to buy a lot. And the worst case scenario is like you buy a camera and then, I can't afford the SD cards, or it needs a stabilizer, or it needs a light, or it needs an adapter. I can't afford that. And the price just keeps racking up and you can't afford it. and you're not making money off of it, it's difficult. My advice, get a better job.
True.
Get a better job. Focus on making money because this video world's not going to be your spot for money unless you're blessed with a connection. So focus on making money doing something else. But then with your normal iPhone, your normal Samsung, get a headset, get a little mic you can plug in if you whatever you have to do, basic cheap stuff. And focus on your craft. Focus on the acting, the singing, the podcast, the art. Focus on being really good and being good working with other people in the field too. Because when money starts to make money, you usually have to be working with other people typically. So get used to networking and doing projects. Focus on the business side too, but notice that, man, it's too expensive to invest all this money in good equipment. Again, if you're blessed like us to be able to drop $2,000 and it's not a huge deal, we're not rich by the way, but we had some money and we just put it in and did it. Great. But if not, don't hold yourself back.
True. Facts. Man, so I agree completely. I remember when I first started out with photography, man, I wanted a camera so bad. I know I'm jumping off podcasts, but I wanted a camera so bad. Man, I sold my PlayStation 4. And I love my PlayStation 4.
No, not the PlayStation
My
4,
PlayStation
Marcus.
4, bro. Like, I sold it just to get my first camera, bro. And like you say, that entry level stuff, man, when you first playing around with it, the quality sucked.
Yeah, it's a learning curve.
It's a learning curve. It took me a while. A long time to finally get the best quality out of the camera. And by that time, I was already on my second camera. So it was like I was learning. So a lot of learning. Don't ever stop trying to learn. Always be open to learn. Focus on your craft, but also learn. Try to, make more money and eventually upgrade.
I have to jump in to say this too. It's difficult to be the jack of all trades in this world. If you're going to be a technician, you might want to focus on being a technician and maybe just getting a job as a technician. But if you're going to be an on-air talent, maybe you should focus more on that.
True.
Because you could always partner with a technician to get the project completed.
True.
And it's almost easier to be like, I'm just going to focus on being a singer. So get really good at singing, writing, playing music, producing music. Get really good at music and then have an engineer come and help you. Because I see a lot more people have success that way. Because if you try to do everything on your own, save money for all the equipment, learn how to use it, and be an amazing singer and producer, I mean, come on, it happens. It's just really ambitious. And I feel like take a step back, focus on one thing.
True. Yeah, true. For those of you that don't have a lot of friends that's starting out,
Losers.
hey man, do what you got to do. You have to be the jack of all trades for a little while until you train.
I agree with that.
Rolling,
Yeah, I guess you do. Yeah, right. You do have to be a jack of all trades to some extent. You're going to have to record it, post it on Instagram, whatever.
But don't do it to the point where, when help comes, you deny it because you think you can do it all and you get burnt out. You have to do it up to the point where,
Dude, that never happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, it happened in the way of like, I would watch a YouTube video and I'm like, man, I have to get this same quality video that I'm watching. I have to replicate this. How can I do that on my budget? And then I start going into how to do that. And it wasn't like help came. It was like, help's not going to come, so I just got to do it. When I probably just should have focused on, I guess at that time I was playing music. I probably just should have focused on music and started asking people to record for me, even if it was for free. Like, hey, I saw you playing with the camera earlier to record it for me. And like the quality's the quality, but because I'm so good at music, because I would have practiced instead of just playing, I would have practiced just music instead of messing around with the tech side. More time on music, making me better. I probably would have enjoyed it more because my mind would have been less divided. I would have been just playing music. I feel like that would have helped me out a lot. So I don't know, man. I feel like that's the way to go. Trying to focus and become really good at one thing.
True. Well, I know from my experience, like we could go to music. So with music, I had my own studio back in the day when I was staying, down South Homestead. As I didn't have no help, I had to like go for the bottom. So I didn't have the money to go into someone's studio and pay somebody per hour or per whatever to do music. I just had to do it on my own. So the quality sucked.
Yeah.
But I got my music out. I just got the music out. And it was at will. It was like, I write something. It's like, I know you probably play guitar, play some type of instrument. I'm not an instrumentalist. I don't straight rap for me. So it was easier for me. So I could just get on the mic, spit, do what I can as far as mixing and release it. That's how I did it. And before I knew it, what was so hard mixing, it became easy. It was like second nature. It was like, okay, I'll spit this, I'll do this, and boom. And I will be done with a song with like faster than what I usually would. For those who don't have the money and really on a tight budget, like I say, sometimes you gotta learn to be the jack of trade until that opportunity comes. And then,
This is true. I mean, to an extent, that's true. Like I wish that I didn't get so deep into the tech side, but it's a fact that you just have to know some stuff. You're gonna have to, especially in today's time with COVID and everyone producing from home. Like if you really know nothing, like if you don't know how to use GarageBand, if you don't know how to use Pro Tools, like basic stuff as a musician, you do kind of get stuck. But I would definitely argue there's a difference between a technician's level of Pro Tools and then like a standard, like just I'm just using it to record basic stuff. So if you don't know the basics, yeah, you have to learn the basics at some point.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like you're not gonna be a master, like I'm a sound engineer, but just get it to the point where you can record yourself, know the basics.
Yeah, you
have some type of studio etiquette,
Mhm.
and then
True.
and
See
then
how annoying it is when singers come in knowing nothing at all.
nothing, bro. It's like
Oh my goodness.
you're a singer, like what did you record?
Don't you know how to use a metronome?
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Tell me when to come in.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, so dive into a little bit of stocks.
Mhm.
I know you have a couple.
Oh, finance?
Yeah, finance.
Man, we're all
bro.
over this.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
Finance, man. Like I love finance.
Banker David.
Banker David.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good. I don't know too much about stocks. I hear it there, and I'll probably dibble and dabble into a little conversation, but I really don't know nothing about stocks. Man, what is a stock, bro? Like, what do you use stocks for, as far as finances?
Before I start answering any of this, I'd like to say that I'm just a dude talking about stocks. I don't know anything about stocks other than what I've learned, but I'm not licensed.
I'm
not a professional in stocks. I just sell insurance. Big difference. But anyways, a stock is just a part of a company. It's just a percentage of a company. So if a company was a piece of pie, you're getting a really tiny slice.
So it depends on how much of your money you put into the pie is pretty much like that percentage.
How many pieces of pie do you want to buy?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And if that company succeeds, you get a percentage of their.
In this example, maybe a pie is a bad example, but in this example, the pie would grow. So your pieces would be getting larger the longer you have them. So a pie is a bad example, I suppose.
Now, I know a lot of people, they're not. I know you have to be disciplined to have stocks because I know you have long-term stocks. You have to have the money in there long-term in order to make money. And then there's some stocks that you can have it in there short-term, like kind of like penny stocks or
Yeah, there's all sorts of, but if it's okay, can I talk about why I think stocks are important?
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
because stocks are boring.
It is.
Super boring. But the reason it's exciting to me is because to me, it's the fastest way to make money.
Mm.
Or I should say, the fastest way with almost zero work, very passively. You see, the rich, they just make money because their money makes them money. But that literally happens, and it happens through stocks. It's called compounding interest. If you don't know what it is, look it up, guys. It's so worth it. It's like a magic trick. You put your money into an investment, and every 10 years, your money doubles. 7 to 10 years. And the reason that happens is because the stocks tend to grow in value. You buy a piece of pie from a company, and over time, the company grows, and your stocks become worth more money. And every certain amount of years, your money you put in doubles. It actually doubles without you doing a darn thing except just having it in the account, in the stock account. There's a lot of different ways to buy stocks, a lot of different things to do. The safest way I've seen is actually not buying a stock. Don't buy a stock directly unless you know what you're doing or you're going to take the time to research it. Buy a mutual fund, which is just a whole bunch of different companies kind of bundled together. Instead of buying Tesla, you buy Home Depot, Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, everything, a little bit of everyone's pies, all in one bundle deal. So if you only got $100 to invest it in a mutual fund and you get a little bit of everyone's. So when they grow, you make money no matter what. It's really a great system.
Nice.
It's great.
Yeah, stocks are boring.
Super boring. I
know I'm going to probably get into it one day because I want my money to make money. I want to learn as much as I can. I want to, own some properties, and I always have plans B, C's, D's, E's, and F's, and sometimes G's. But yeah. So anybody out there who wants to get into stocks, look up compounding interest, mutual.
David Fuertes podcast. Hit me up. I'm gonna teach y'all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you.
Mutual
sometimes
funds, mutual, whatever. So yeah, because I'm gonna get into it. I might.
Heck yeah. No. I'm for sure. Okay, we're gonna do a deep dive in a podcast onto my investments one day and what I have, because you're gonna find out how poor I really am,
but how rich he's gonna become.
That was beautiful. Learn how poor you are, but how rich you'll become. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. David Fuertes podcast live.
All right, so we're gonna get up off stocks because
Are you bored of it already, Marcus? Come on. Stretch. Okay, so what's next, Marcus? What do we got?
All right, man. So we're gonna jump into vehicles. We gotta
talk about the Tessie.
We're gonna talk about the
Tessie from a Bessie.
Tessie from the Bessie. Tesla, man, like the first company to ever come out with a fully electric vehicle. I could be wrong. Maybe there was another company that
There was, I think. I don't remember who it was, but I believe there was, yeah.
But Tesla, it just grew and became the most popular. And
by far. Yeah. Elon Musk is a freaking champ. This man's a super genius.
Man, I didn't really care. I know you say, you wanted to buy a Tesla. And I'm like, see what the big deal is about a Tesla, until I actually test drove one. And it was amazing. What you call it? The frunk?
The frunk? The front trunk?
Yeah, the front. That's what you call it on a Tesla. The frunk, right?
I don't have a Tesla, but when I do, I guess I'll learn.
Yeah,
but I suppose,
I think it was a frunk
trunk.
So this person, she was like, yeah, it's a frunk. I'm like, the frunk? Yeah, the trunk. I started going towards the back of the vehicle. She's like, no. Come to the front. I'm like, wow, I forgot that it's electrical. So probably everything is at the bottom, so you have more space. And the features were amazing, but the best part is just how smooth it just drove. It was just like driving on air. I'm like, why did I test drive this, bro?
And the acceleration is next level.
I'm like, man, bro, like I got to get another. I have to get a Tesla. So like a whole week straight, I had to pound it out of my mind. Like, no, Marcus, stop it.
So a Tesla is my future car. We're gonna get that out of the way now. But Elon got some competition. Now I haven't read the stats recently, but Ford came out with their F-150 electric class. It's like an EF-150 or something.
It's fully electric?
It's fully electric truck. But not just a truck. The legendary, classic, all-American F-150 truck. All electric. Their commercial shows the truck powering someone's house in a storm when electricity goes out.
Wow.
What's more macho than that, bro?
I'm
a man. If this storm goes out, my truck will power my family. Like, come on. Who's not going to buy that?
America.
All Elon Musk has is a little spaceship that flies around the streets for novelty. Like, for sure, a bunch of people from like liberals are going to love that. I get to fly a spaceship on the streets of this country. Oh, okay. But F-150 drivers?
My F-150.
Man. That's right.
My F-150.
They got chewing tobacco on the left side of the lip and everything,
That's
man.
it, man. Oh my gosh. Water bottles full of the backer spit.
Now, I don't have the thing to look it up, but the truck starts it's probably $75,000, $80,000 for the F-150 electric.
Wow.
But that's basically the same as a Tesla. I mean, if you're going to drop $80K on a truck, they're in the same ballpark, Now, I like the Tesla more because I don't really care about the truck part. I sell insurance. I'm not tossing hay bales. Okay.
True.
Now, I love the country and I love going up to the mountains and stuff. But, man, I could do that in my Tesla because that thing's a tank.
True.
People's complaint when they were first coming out, I don't know if you recall, but when the Tesla truck, the Cybertruck was coming out, their complaint was, oh, the truck's too dangerous. Why is that? Because they're afraid that if the truck hits somebody, it would kill them, or if it crashed into another car, it would damage the other car too much. This thing's built like a machine, man. Strong. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Well, so I never knew that. That's insight for me. I didn't know they have an F-150 or coming out with an F-150 fully electric.
I think it's already out.
It's already out.
Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong, but I think it's out.
If you guys seeing this, whoever has the F-150, electric, hey, let me know. I would love for you to drop a picture. Hey.
No, take us on a ride. Forget that.
For real.
I want to see it. I want to drive in it.
Matter of fact, come to the podcast. I would love to speak on that. Thanks. So, that being said, I didn't know there was an electric truck,
Mhm.
F-150. How long would you think, if it happens, in your opinion, of all vehicles or personal vehicles going electric?
I don't think it'll ever be all, but for classic standard driving, like what am I going to get my 16-year-old first driver? You know, what cheap car am I going to get them? I think after about 20 years from today, we're going to start seeing this disappear. Because what's going to happen is over the next 5 years, I think a lot of gas cars are going to start disappearing off the road because everyone's getting Teslas. Trying to hold back a sneeze. And I don't think I have COVID, guys. I feel fine. It's just sneeze.
He already caught it before, and so have I. Sorry,
Yeah,
go
so
ahead.
our immunities are very strong. And we're both, we're both like eating a little bit better and, we're both being a little more active. So yeah, we got
Yeah.
strong immune systems.
Yeah.
I'm not too concerned. So I'm sorry, what were we talking about before that COVID thing?
Oh yeah, if the parent was to buy their child their first car.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So I think it's going to take 20 years just because, man, by the time that first car is, today's 2020 model or 2021 model, a lot of cars are going to start moving over to electric. I think it's just a matter of time.
They have another one too. I don't know if it was in Volvo. It was an SUV. Me and my wife saw it. It was one morning, and they was charging it at the little pump. I'm like, what? That company is doing it now? I forget what company
Everybody.
it was.
They
I was
have
like,
to. And
that's
Tesla's going to be
crazy.
selling their Gigafactories, like franchising Gigafactories. Last time I
Wow.
was reading, I mean, maybe it changed since 2 months ago. When I was reading, they were going to start basically just going, here's a franchise Gigafactory. So if Toyota wants to buy a Gigafactory and use it to create some Toyota electric vehicle, they could do it with Elon Musk assembling machines. Because his thing is not that he invented an electric car, because he didn't.
Yeah, of course.
Electric cars were invented many years ago, like over 100 years ago. They're invented. So that's not the invention. The invention is that he's able to produce a quality electric car at an affordable price at a specific speed of creation and shipping and all the logistics of it. That's the real miracle. So him franchising these gigafactories would actually give an opportunity to other companies to catch up and sell cars under their own white label,
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, if you were to ask me, I would probably say good 50, 60 years before that time of, I'm going to get you your first junker car, and that junker car is electric, and it's affordable. Like, affordable.
I think 30 tops.
About 30 tops?
Yeah.
We'll see. If we're alive to see it, Mr. Fuertes,
I hope so.
we're gonna see.
I hope
I'm gonna
so.
look on this day of, what's today's date?
Be 59.
Today is October
58.
14th. I'm gonna say, Dave, on October 14th, remember we did that podcast? And remember I said it was 60?
You're
and it
still
was 60
driving a
years?
gas car. me. It's going to go on.
All right, man. So what I'm very intrigued about of you, man, is your eating habits, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, bro. I'm trying so hard to like eat right. It's just coming up eating, just eating, bro. It's kind of hard to adapt. Once you're set in your ways, it's like what they say about the old folks. They're set in their ways and trying to break that habit, man. But you, my friend, have broke a shell, bro, that I'm kind of interested in, bro. And that's self-identifying as a plant-based eater.
Thanks for the intro. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And it started as a joke because I thought the whole funny thing of like, I could self-identify as a guy today and then self-identify as a woman tomorrow. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. So the whole self-identification was a joke.
Mm.
And I'm sitting downstairs watching a documentary called Game Changers on Netflix. And it was all about being plant-based for the purposes of health. Not eating animals, because if you don't eat animals, your body recovers faster from injury. You reduce unnecessary fats and chemicals and junk from your body.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, it's a life-changing diet change that just helps in so many ways. But I don't know, man. Sitting there, and it got really funny. I go, you know what? I was just inspired. And I go, I self-identify as being plant-based. It's a joke, but I'm going to start saying it. And I literally started as a joke. I'm like, I'm just not going to eat animals because it's a joke. It's like, today I self-identify as being plant-based. I tried it out, and it just kept going. I just stopped eating animals. But something really funny happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just a joke. When the day came that I was like I want to say this is probably a week or 2 weeks into not eating animals at all. Saturday morning came around. I was starving. And I go, Lauren, I'm going to go get me an egg sandwich. And so I drove to this amazing restaurant. It's called Outrageous Bagels. Super good, right?
They didn't pay us to say that, guys. I promise. But fire.
Yeah, no, the bagels are really good. The breakfast sandwiches are really good. The owner's a jerk, but everything else is great. He's always mean to his employees, man. I mean, every time I've walked in there, he's always either upset or he's talking garbage to one of his employees. I don't know, man. But good job, man. I mean, you have really good breakfast sandwiches. Always a line there.
Kudos, bro. For real.
You know, you're a good business owner. Good job. So, yeah, man, I just went and had a breakfast sandwich. Eggs, bacon, the whole nine. And the funniest thing happened. I didn't feel discouraged. I didn't feel bad about it. And I definitely didn't feel like I fell off the wagon of being quote-unquote plant-based.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, it was a joke from the beginning. I just self-identified, whatever the heck that means, as being plant-based.
True.
So when I went back to eating animals for one sandwich, when I finished that sandwich, I literally took my bite, swallowed it, put it down after finishing the whole sandwich, threw out the garbage, and went, I self-identify as being plant-based. After devouring a whole sandwich, my stomach is physically still digesting, And that was okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But the funniest thing happened is that I actually started to become plant-based slowly. And although I still tell the joke I self-identify as being plant-based, it's kind of like a scapegoat to let me fall back into eating animals anytime I want without any condemnation or feeling bad or feeling like I failed. Because I didn't. It was just a joke. But it just so happens that this joke is really healthy. So I kind of started applying this into my fitness life. It was like, I kind of self-identify as someone who likes to work out. So what I would do is I would just, I want to go work out. I do it as a joke, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I don't feel like working out one day. That's fine. I self-identify as a couch potato. But then all of a sudden, the next morning, no, I self-identify as someone that's working out. And I just get up and I go on a walk. It wasn't even a run. It was just a walk the next day. But it didn't matter because it was something. And that walk turned into a run. And that run turned into going to the gym. So
nice.
It's interesting how taking the pressure off of myself by just making a joke about self-identifying as something I'm clearly not made myself believe I was enough to just try.
But being plant-based, do you feel it's difficult to remain plant-based without, I guess, falling off that wagon? Is it difficult for you? Like, from the last time you ate Outrageous Bagel, you haven't eaten any other. When was the last time you've eaten
animals?
An animal. Or animals.
like, who says that? Animals. Like, what the
my
so
mind
weird
was
way
going
to
through my
say it.
mind. Like, it sounds so savage.
Dude, you have to play that back to see your face there. Animals. That was funny. Good facial expression. Technically for dinner tonight, because I put Worcestershire sauce in my plant-based. What is this called? Beef stroganoff. Plant-based beef stroganoff. We used a vegan meat or a plant-based meat from Publix. They sell it in the freezer aisle. Red onion, mushrooms, a bunch of seasonings, mustard, flour, like just white flour. I use vegetable broth. Mix it all up with some more seasonings and stuff like that with pasta, just regular pasta.
Sounds good.
Or vegan pasta or whatever. And that's it. And the thing is, Worcestershire sauce, though, it technically has, I think, anchovies in it or something like that. A little bit, like a trace amount or something. So technically, that's an animal. So technically, I self-identified as eating animals for dinner. But the funny thing is, look how much healthier that is compared to eating the actual beef stroganoff, right? I'm eating nothing but plants, essentially. And look how much better that is. So, and I don't really care because I'm not doing this because I'm joining a cult of being plant-based or I'm vegan or I'm vegetarian. I'm just doing this because it's good for me and I feel better.
But so do you actually feel better? Do you actually feel it?
I do,
yeah.
Man.
Like
immediately? Digestion. Oh my goodness, bro. My craps are so much nicer now. You can't talk about your bowel movements on a podcast, David.
First thing I thought of, I was like soft
to
serve or some crap. Like,
well, it's way chunkier than that, man. There's a lot of berries and seeds. You got to have a balanced diet. Yeah, I think that's something interesting. Is
what about energy?
I mean, yes and no, but it's difficult for me to say that my plant-based diet has increased my energy because I've also been working out more since I've been plant-based.
True.
But I know what it is to be that guy that watches one documentary and changes their whole life based on that, and then flip-flops and goes back the other way like 2 weeks later. Like,
Facts.
"Did you see that documentary on sleep?"
Uh-huh.
"Yeah." "I have to get 8 hours of sleep or the world's" it's like, whatever, like, it's, is it really? What if you got 6.5? Yeah, you'll probably be okay. 8's better, but 6.5 is good. Anyways, point is, just because I watched one plant-based documentary, I'm definitely no expert in any of this, but the stars aligned where I happen to be doing more working out now. So I think the working out is probably giving me more energy than the diet. But who knows really? Working out is just painful. When you go and work out, you push yourself.
Of course.
So when you get back home, you just don't feel the same amount of pain because it's like you don't know what good is until you know what bad is. And when you constantly work out, you're constantly putting yourself through bad. So you always feel a little bit better and a little bit more energetic.
I'm glad you're not one of those type of guys that he's plant-based and now it's, oh yeah, I feel amazing and yeah, like a whole expert on, oh yeah, because my blood flow is this and plant-based is that and my diet, it's just like, bro, just keep it real. Like, how do you feel, man? Like, I know you self-identify, not you, but I'm just saying, like, for the average guy that's they're new to something and they think they're just the expert and they know.
Yeah, they're plant-based. Yeah, you're plant-based now. Yeah, I'm plant-based. Yeah, it's life-changing. Yeah, and they flip-flop 2 weeks later. Nick, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's good.
But again, I'm not committing to it. I'm just doing it because I want to.
Bro, shout out to David, real one, boy, keeping it real. When I say that, I think
dude, that should be my corny podcast line. David Fuertes podcast, and then I have you come on there with like a big stamp goes over the David Fuertes keeping it real.
When I say that, I think of the skit of Dave Chappelle. Keeping it real goes wrong. I don't know if you've seen that skit.
I haven't, dude.
Bro, you got to check that. That's funny. That's the old skinny Dave Chappelle. Like, funny as heck.
That man has had a career amazing, bro. He's not only from a young age had a good career, doing funny stuff, man. His original stuff was really funny, but today his new Netflix special is also funny, but more entertaining than funny because there's some laughing moments, but more like, oh damn, he said that, and then it draws you in with the stories. His storytelling, he has worked on that over the last 20 years.
Good luck trying to cancel that guy. That guy has been through a lot.
At this point, I think he wants to get canceled.
Yeah, he don't.
I think he's done, bro. He's probably like, I'll do 1 or 2 more projects and call it a freaking life.
For real, bro.
Yeah.
Facts. All right, man. Well, we almost wrapping it up, man. I definitely want to talk to you more, but it's, bro.
I'll see you tomorrow at work.
Definitely.
You could keep talking there.
Definitely. Bro, I got one last game for you. I know we
Oh, is this that game where you ask questions?
Yeah, ask questions.
I love this one.
So it's called Pick One First Thought.
Deep breaths. Okay, pick one. First thought.
Right? So you got less than a second. It's just as soon as I ask a question, you just whatever comes first, you just say it. Now last time I let you get away with a couple of pauses. Yeah. So I'm gonna be like, all right, bro, you missed that one. I'm sorry, bro.
True.
Like, yeah. So it's gonna be the same exact questions. I didn't have time.
We need to have like theme music and lights change.
I should. All right, bro. Ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go, bro. Given a Tesla or living rent-free for 2 years?
Rent-free for 2 years.
Given $10,000, are you spending the money at Apple or Chevron?
Ooh, Apple.
Finance or leasing a vehicle?
I am financing a vehicle.
Steam room or ice bath?
Ice bath.
Investing in stocks or property?
Property.
Commission for being a realtor or life insurance agent?
Life insurance agent.
You are the lotto winner. Are you taking the payment in one lump sum or payment for life?
One lump sum.
Would you prefer salary or hourly?
Hourly.
McDonald's coffee or Starbucks coffee?
McDonald's coffee.
Rich as a music entertainer or actor?
Music entertainer.
Ding, 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 ding. Nice,
that was tough, man. I almost got stuck.
Bro, you got through it, man. And like I say, thanks again for being on the podcast. I want to actually go through some of the
I want to hear what you're going to pick. What are you going to pick with that?
I would have picked. Given a Tesla or living rent-free for 2 years? Man, that's tough, bro. Thank God I'm not on the timer. Haha. Given a Tesla or living rent-free for 2 years? Yeah, give me the Tesla, man. Give me the Tesla. But dang, living rent-free for 2 years, though.
The argument, I guess, would be you could sell the Tesla, but assuming you didn't sell it, then...
I mean, do you think gas is more expensive than charging?
Heck no. Rent's so expensive.
No, I'm just saying, like, as far
Oh,
as gas or charging your Tesla. I think charging your Tesla would be way, way less
it's
expensive.
free.
It's free?
Yeah,
For real?
dude.
Oh, I'm going with the Tesla then.
Think about all the free charging stations they have
Bro, I'm
here.
going with the Tesla all day.
Think about that. I wouldn't be. I bet you there's a free charging station in walking distance from here. If you had a Tesla, you drop it off and walk home.
I never knew that.
People do, especially in Brickell. People do that in those buildings. They drive to Brickell City Center, park their car, walk out of the parking garage, and just go upstairs to their condo.
Do you think they're gonna eventually start charging for?
Heck yeah, they're just taking advantage of the system. Heck,
Bro, yeah, I'm taking the Tesla, bro, all day. And given $10,000, are you spending the money at? I don't have anything Apple, so I have to go Chevron.
I said Apple for that, right?
Yeah, you said
Yeah,
Apple.
I knew. Yeah. Everything's Apple in my house, man. Everything's
Yeah.
Apple in the office, the house, and I would probably just do Apple. It'd be fun at the very least.
Yeah. I don't have nothing Apple. I don't have nothing. I don't even have an Apple fruit in here, so.
I buy AirPods, a new phone, probably 2 MacBooks, and I'm probably out of money.
Bro, anybody listening, leave your comments.
Donate me a MacBook and AirPods.
I know this is off topic, but Apple or Android, like, which one would you like better and why? I'm personally Android, but whatever.
Apple.
I don't see the difference besides it's just two different companies, but I'm just used to Android. But if I had to switch to Apple, maybe, yeah, wouldn't mind. Steam room or ice bath? I never did ice bath, so I'm definitely going with steam room.
Dude, ice baths hurt. They're not fun.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I have the steam room in my condo.
Yeah.
You've been there, obviously.
Mhm.
And it's nice and relaxing, but an ice bath is so much more invigorating, man.
Wow.
It gets the people going.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really intense.
I might have to try it once, though, just to say I did it. I don't think I would enjoy it, but.
You know what I saw is that it's enjoyable when you work out a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say for athletes or people that work out a lot.
Yeah, because your joints.
Yeah. That's probably what
warm.
Joe needs.
Yeah. I didn't say it in the office because I was already babying him like crazy.
Yeah.
I have a really soft spot for people with hurt backs because I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Our coworker Joe has a hurt back because he just worked out. I'll let him tell the story if he tells it.
Yeah.
But
True.
Long story short, he came to the office today. I'm like, dude, my heart goes out to this guy, bro. I've been there. I've been where I can't even stand up, and I know how terribly painful it is. And an ice bath would probably help because it does reduce swelling because it freezes the muscles and makes everything relax. And it's really good for your muscles.
I just know when I hear a grown man say,
Yeah.
Every 3 seconds, I'm like, dang. You want me to just get you a
stabbing
back,
pain.
like a back strap or something, bro? Like, I feel sorry for you, bro. This guy, like, I understand your back is hurting, but my night last night was amazing. I'm like, dang.
Okay, but I slept so well last. Okay, I haven't been sleeping for like the last 2 months. My sleep has been garbage. I got bags under my eyes. I feel like I'm dying. I even called out of work a few times. And then the last 2 nights, I have slept 7 hours consistently. And I wake up feeling great. And, it sucks for Joe. I know I've been there. But man, sometimes you just got to be grateful for a good day.
Yeah.
True. Regardless of how people feel about it.
True.
So.
Facts. Hey, man. Hey, this is for all the females out there that don't know how men communicate. It's how we communicate.
I love that. Yo, you said that today in the office. Like, yo.
Like, it is, it's okay, Sally. And it's like, oh, boy, I understand your pain, but I had an amazing night last night,
That's exactly right.
Yeah, it is what it is. Did Joe get offended? Oh, he was just like, it's cool.
It's cool. He probably laughed.
Exactly what he did. He was like, oh, that's cool. I was like,
but for that,
man.
that's cool. It took his mind off. Of his pain.
Yeah.
See, I'm a good friend.
Yeah, facts. Investing in stocks or property. I don't know about stocks or definitely property. Commission from being a realtor or life insurance agent.
It's difficult.
I would say life insurance.
You're already an insurance agent. So for you to make money as a life insurance agent, there's no stretch. I mean, you could literally sell life.
That's why I say it would be because I can relate to that.
You could make money tomorrow doing it, but real estate, you have to get your license, and then even if you just do it because you're an investor and not a realtor yourself, that takes a lot of time.
And not only in Miami, everyone seems like they're a realtor. Like,
yeah,
competition is crazy.
Yeah,
so it's like,
I know this chick, Gio, I think her name is. I forget. Mm-hmm. And she's a realtor in Miami, and she has she's already sold a bunch of houses.
Mm.
And I'm like, man, how does someone so young, 2 years into the industry, become so successful selling, $500,000 condos and stuff like that within 2 years? I mean,
Wow.
that's pretty quick in the real estate industry.
Fast.
I think she's been working a little longer in it, maybe 3 or 4 years. So I probably need to give her credit for that.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know her personally like that. I follow her on Facebook and to talk to her, whatever. I think her parents are in it though. And I think if you're in the real estate industry, it's really a lot easier if you just have a connection, because it's like there's so many cats out there doing this work that it's hard to stand out. Now you can stand out and you will stand out. It just takes 3-4 years of hard work. Or if you just really have that connection. I think in this case, this chick had that connection, but regardless, I'm proud of you for doing the work. But if you get into this industry, guys, it's years of work. Yeah. Who's that famous realtor? Ryan Serhant.
Okay, I heard of.
Yeah, he has like 2 or 3 books now. He's like a super good role model for realtors.
Wow.
Yeah, check him out.
Wow. If I was a lotto winner, am I taking the payments in one lump sum or payments for life?
Ooh, Marcus, what you doing? Make the right choice, Marcus.
Honestly, it might sound crazy, but I think I'll take the payments for life.
No.
Yeah, I think so, bro.
What about compounding interest?
I feel you, but it's like I don't ever have to worry about like an investment going wrong and I'm not saying just the worst that can happen, you lose your money. At least with the payments for life, I always have money coming in no matter what. So I can always invest in properties but I will always have income coming in. And I wonder with that too, like if you can pass that on to like if you have kids or
I don't know. It's a good question. I guess
Huh.
it depends on the whatever it is, how it's set up. But no, man, compounding interest is way more profitable.
yeah,
Way more. Because remember, every 7 to 10 years, your money's gonna double.
true.
Double.
True.
So let's say you won 20 million, and by taking the monthly payments, you actually get to
True.
20 million, or the weekly payments, or whatever.
That is true. I didn't think
But then
lump sum.
lump sum. Let's say lump sum's only
Yeah, lump
5
sum.
million.
I didn't think about
Let's say it's
that.
only 5 million, right?
Mhm.
Well, if your money doubles every 7 to 10 years, well, 5 million is 10 million. In 20 years, you're already past what you had. So it's like
True.
it doubles, and you have the added advantage of controlling $5 million off the top. And if you wanted to do a big investment that would lead to more money, you could. But again, if you're dirt poor, you win the lottery, most people lose it all because they have $5 million in their pocket and know jack nothing about how to make this thing work.
Yeah. No, I changed my answer. Yep. Lump sum for me.
I think, you research this whole podcast, how to make this work. You're definitely smart enough to research how to do a mutual fund.
For sure.
Like, it's one of the most basic. You're going to kill it. You're going to do so well.
For sure. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Would you prefer salary or hourly? Like I said last time, I think I would go salary.
Yeah?
Only because hourly will make sense to me because I'm not working over 8 hours a week. Not on the job.
Yeah, no matter what. You're like, I'm not.
Yeah. Now with this podcast, I'm putting in countless hours, but on a job, I'm not working unless I really have to. Like I'm closing a sale or something. Yeah, why not? But
Yeah, but even then,
it's like
you know what? In the banking insurance world, all the professional fields, everyone's closing at 6:30.
Yeah.
After that, everyone's done.
So I think I would go salary only because I'm not doing overtime. So just it is what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah. McDonald's coffee or Starbucks. Now, I have Starbucks in this.
Mhm.
I love Starbucks. It's smooth, it's rich, bold taste. But lately, I've been coming in with the McDonald's coffee, even at work, every single morning. It has crack in it.
It does. Marcus and I agree.
It has crack, and no offense to people that's struggling with crack.
Crack, yeah.
I'm just.
We're empathetic to your addictions.
But it has crack in it.
It does.
And I said it after.
Man, it's true. Because it's not true. Obviously, there's no crack. I hope there's no crack McDonald's in your coffee. I'm a big McDonald's advocate. One of their biggest fans. They should genuinely pay me just to eat there because of how much I rep them. They're so bad for you, though. Anyways, point is that, I crave their coffee, and it makes me jittery. Whatever type of caffeine they're putting in there, whatever strand of caffeine that is, it's intense.
And not only that, it's cheaper.
Makes my neck itch, too. It's like the cheap stuff.
Bro,
Yeah.
Starbucks is $3.16 for a large. McDonald's is $2 something. And I feel I have more energy with McDonald's coffee than Starbucks.
And it always has a little bit of metallic flavor.
Yeah, like a nickel-based type
Yeah.
of taste to it, right?
Some pennies and stuff.
You get past the taste, right, man, you good to go. And Rich as a music entertainer or actor, definitely a music entertainer because I feel different brands reach out to them to rep their products and they pay them for it. Than actors, you don't see actors. Maybe behind the scenes, I don't know, but you see it more in like musicians and in the entertainment world of I'm signed Nike. I'm with Nike for a year. So that's the only reason why I would pick music entertainer. I don't know.
What was that burger from McDonald's? The
Travis Scott
Travis
burger.
Scott
They
burger.
had another artist too.
Yeah,
There was another one. I forget.
Did Drake ever do one?
I don't think so. Drake is too big for that.
No one's too big for McDonald's.
That's true, but
Drake's been through a McDonald's drive-through like at 2 a.m.
Nah, that's true.
Sure.
I don't see. Well, who knows? But no, I do remember the Travis Scott. I remember the Travis Scott burger.
Well,
I wonder if McDonald's paid him to use his name to.
Of course, yeah, it was a
right?
brand deal.
Sure,
yeah,
right?
I'm sure it was a huge brand deal too.
But you don't hear nobody like Denzel or these type of actors that the Denzel burger or
Yeah, but who really is going to be stupid enough to be associated with a fast food company?
Me.
Me too, actually. Now that we bring it up, but not for the money, just because I genuinely love the food, and not because it's healthy, because it's going to kill you. But I think that's the hesitation for a lot of companies. Is if you're going to promote Coca-Cola or you're going to promote McDonald's, you're just promoting things that are really not healthy. They treat their employees bad. Like there's very little positive sides other than that they're providing food.
I would probably for example, if I do McDonald's, I would probably just do their coffee because I only really drink their coffee. I don't really care about their food. So I would have like a special kind of coffee.
The McCafe?
Or like the Marc Ben call the something, It'll be some type of
Marcus?
The Mick
Marcus
yeah,
coffee.
Something. Yeah, it's just and it'll just be black. You can't put cream or sugar, it's just black. And that's it. That's what it is.
Yo, you actually got me hooked on drinking black coffee.
Bro, I was surprised. It's like 2 days in a row now. Like
2 days
black.
in a row.
I'm like, what?
3 days tomorrow. We're going to do it, man.
Don't judge me. I know a lot of people, black coffee. Hey, don't knock it till you try it.
No, it's
a couple
hard.
of times.
It's not as good as cream and sugar, Marcus.
I know.
It's not, but that's the reason is that I self-identify as plant-based now, so I can't do all the cream. And I just watched a thing on sugar, or read a thing on sugar, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I actually knew this vegan who was overweight because he just ate too much sugar.
So he
doesn't eat any animals, but he's overweight because he eats things like Oreos, which, fun fact, are vegan. He eats things like pies and cookies and desserts. Too many fruits, believe it or not. There's a lot of sugar in fruit. And it's just, if you don't have an active lifestyle, you could gain weight and be unhealthy as a plant-based or vegan person.
So you're literally dropping knowledge right now. I want to harp on that because you got a lot of people in the United States.
Yeah.
That's probably even watching right now that's struggling to lose weight. It's like, man, I can't lose. I walk, I do this, I do that. Cut the sugar out. And what else should you cut out? Sugar and what else?
Animals.
And animals?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If you're someone that has a typical American diet, first recognize, man, you're normal and there's nothing wrong with you. That's how everyone and your mom has grown up. Okay? Cool. It is what it is. We're going to have to deal with it. So once you could take 2 seconds to recognize that although it was your choice to eat that garbage food every day, really don't hurt yourself mentally too much. Give yourself a little grace. It's okay. We're going to move through this together, right? So you're going to have to live with yourself tomorrow. So let's just accept what it is and let's move forward. The second thing is notice that it's going to take a while for you to transition to being plant-based or eating less sugar if this is something you want to do. I honestly have been working on this since I was a kid. It doesn't seem that way if even if you talk to my parents, they're like, oh, well, I mean, has he? My parents stopped buying real cow milk back when I was probably 8 years old. So I haven't been drinking cow milk for a long time. Mm-hmm. Cheese hurt my stomach, so I slowly started cutting out cheese. Red meat was hard to digest, so I slowly started cutting out red meat and a lot of pork. And it came down to I was eating chicken, fish, and bacon every once in a while. And over time, I slowly cut it out until that joke happened, watched the documentary. Yeah. So it was like a slow progression from 8 years old all the way to 28 years old, right? So give yourself some time and know that if you're 45 years old and you're overweight, you're 50 years old, you're overweight, that's okay. Just give yourself a few years to slowly transition out of it. It's not cold turkey. We're addicted to sugar.
I agree.
But I'm not going to sit here and tell you, I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell anyone nothing. Don't listen to me. No one listen to me.
But you know what, man? People are tired of listening to the doctors and I ain't shit. Man, people want to hear from real life people that like that's really doing it.
Yeah.
I'd rather listen to you than to watch a health expert say, "Oh, this is how you lose weight." It's boring.
Well, we're more addicted to sugar than we are. If you compare a drug addict, an illegal drug addict, like a heroin addict, a cocaine addict, something like that, to someone that's addicted to sugar, sugar is actually more addictive.
Yeah.
We're more physically dependent on added sugars.
I can see that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the worst thing about it is sugar is very bad for you in these high levels. So definitely, if you guys are ever interested, look up the research on how bad sugar is for you and then have a little peace, man. I was scared about this. But there's a lot of great food alternatives that taste identical with just less sugar. Like literally like jelly, full of sugar. It's like I think most jellies have like between 20 and 30 grams of sugar in it, just for one serving of jelly. Like what's the name of a jelly brand? Like a Welch's or whatever.
Oh, Welch's. Yeah.
The Peter Pan company and all those things.
Yeah.
They have a lot of sugar in them, but there's like the low sugar options that taste identical and arguably better because they're slightly less sweet and it works better in some types of sandwiches and stuff. Like peanut butter and jelly, for me, I like it more.
Yeah.
And it's the same price, but half the sugar. And it's just making healthy choices like that it's amazing. You could cut out so much sugar by going from drinking like Cokes to maybe drinking like those sparkling flavored seltzers.
Yes, sir.
It's things like that. Like you cut out so much sugar overnight and you barely notice.
Yeah.
And don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself a year of just that, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe next year try cutting out something else.
Yeah. Look, see, you probably don't know this. See, when you talk about health and stuff like that, I be listening.
Yeah.
I was drinking a Red Bull today, and he was like, "Man, the sugar, man, is it's associated with heart disease." So I wasn't mad or nothing. I was just like thinking, like, dang. And I did the research while he was talking. I'm like, number one killer, heart disease. I'm like, it's my last time drinking Red Bull. Because Red Bull has a lot of sugar. It's like 75 grams or some crap like that. It's a lot of sugar.
But it makes me feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It gives you like that sugar rush.
But I don't think I'm going to drink Red Bull.
Yeah,
anymore,
it's not a good.
just,
you can't do it all the time. Even like once a week.
Yeah.
But there's some things that are just so bad for you.
Yeah.
And the sugar is just one part of why Red Bull's bad. I've never researched exactly why Red Bull's
chemicals
bad.
and
they got stuff in there. I wouldn't be surprised if in other countries it's illegal. I wouldn't be surprised if I found that out. It's nuts, man. Yeah, dude.
Sure, bro, we did it.
We did it.
It's still recording. I'm pretty sure the cameras are still recording.
An hour and 17 minutes.
Hour and 17 minutes, bro. And the lights are hot. I'm ready to turn this AC on.
I know, man. I got my jacket on.
But, hey, I appreciate you being on here,
it was
man.
A pleasure.
And, bro,
it was a pleasure,
man.
Marcus.
And, bro, I can't wait till you do yours. I'm on. And
yeah, you're coming on probably next. I wouldn't be surprised.
Bro, I appreciate it, man. And
very soon.
Appreciate it, bro.
Take care, Marcus. Thanks.
Woo! First one.